I go around and I go around and I go around, I go around. I'm always out, I am always out, I am always out, I'm always out. I keep running so I don't have to go.
Hello. So today we are going to be talking about 26 books that I want to read in 2026. So I make this video like every single year, obviously 24 in 2024, 25 in 2025, but I tend to like group series as like one book. But this year I was like, no, just like do 26 individual books so you like actually read them, because it's like if I'm doing like 26 books but it's like 5 of them are like 7-book series, it's like, no, it's not going to happen. So we have learned and we're doing better this year. But before we get into it, if you're new here, my name is Mila. I do everything from post-grad, bookish, and lifestyle type content, and we also dabble into pop culture. So we talk about things that are going on that I want to talk about, just like random topics, I guess, and we also talk about TV shows, movies, and songs. So if any of that sounds fun, definitely hit the subscribe button down below so you're notified when I post. And let's just go right into these like 26 books. As I mentioned, it's like 26 like individual books. All of these are on my TBR. So my goal in 2026 is to not buy that many books. I'm going to allow myself to buy like the equivalent of like one book per month. So this entire year I can do 12, because obviously there's like some new things that I do want to read, or it's like the continuation of a series. But like in terms of like actual like new books that are like standalones, like 10 to 12. So I actually like read what's on my shelf, because I have been getting through it, but there's so many series that I have that I'm like, okay, like, if you buy another series, what are you doing? It's like if you read another standalone, just like putting off the series. So 2026 is the year of the series, but we do have 26 individual books that I will be reading. So let's just grab the first book. We have The Guest List by Lucy Foley. This book, when I tell you I've had this book on my shelf for years, I literally mean years. I have not read this. I don't know why. Like, I read The Paris Apartment. I read The Hunting Party. I have The Midnight Feast, but I was like, you cannot read The Midnight Feast before reading The Guest List. So I promise you guys this year we are reading The Guest List, because I generally really like Lucy Foley and I know I'm gonna love it. I just haven't read it. Why? I don't know. Next, we have my Emily Henry book. So I do want to catch up on Emily Henry's backlist. We have Book Lovers. Why have I read this? I don't know. Like, I literally bought Great Big Beautiful Life last year and I read it immediately. I mean, okay, for the record, that was for a video where I was like reading new releases. So it makes sense that I read it, but then I'm also like, you literally have Book Lovers, and then we have another Emily Henry book somewhere over here, and it's like, you own them, you haven't read them. Like, you have no business buying more Emily Henry books to read when you have more at home. So before she releases her book this year, I'm like, you have to read both. Like, there's absolutely no excuse to buy her new book if you haven't read these. Next, we have, okay, so this book is in prep for a movie that's coming out this summer, and it's The Odyssey. I'm pretty sure like everyone knows there's a movie by Christopher Nolan, and he's like one of my favorite directors. His movies are like absolute perfection. I really want to read this before the movie comes out. Well, I mean, I read it back in high school, like I think in sixth grade in high school, I read it in French. I don't remember anything because I was like literally like 11. So I figured, you know what? I didn't buy it right now. Like, I bought it like last year, but it was also like so cheap. So I was like, okay, it makes sense to like buy a classic because it's like so cheap. Yeah, I need to read it. Like, I feel like it's gonna go fast because I did read it before. I don't remember everything, so it's gonna be like a new experience, but it's gonna like, I feel flow easier because I have read it, so it's not like super new. So yeah, that has to be read before I go watch the movie. If not, I'm like actually gonna be super disappointed. The fourth book we have on our 26 or before the end of 2026 is Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. This, I feel like I put off reading it because everyone said that it's pretty similar to The Love Hypothesis, and I was like, okay, I don't want to read like two books that are super similar back to back. So I was like, okay, 2025 did I read The Love Hypothesis in 2025? I think I did. So I was like, you know what, 2025 The Love Hypothesis, 2026 Love on the Brain. Then we have another book by Ali Hazelwood, but I think it's like somewhere else. Then we have these two books that, let me like explain the story behind these two books. So I watched when the Top Gun Maverick come out. I mean, Top Gun Maverick came out like a while ago, right? I think like 2022. And then I was like, oh my god, I need my like army book fix. And I found this like little series. I read one of the books that it really took me by surprise, because with the cover you would think that it's like YA, but I was actually like, oh my god, this is actually such a good book. So I have two other books in the series. We have Watch Over over me, and then, oh my god, I need to go grab it from this like awkward position, and then also fall into me. These all have to do with the army, or like takes place on the army base. Like I think the second book, it was like a veteran. Well, I mean, I feel like saying veteran is like weird when he's like young, but like he's not in the army anymore because he got injured. And then there's like the girl who's like studying to become a nurse. So like that's what I mean by like army. I am not sure what's the trope in these ones, but I feel like I don't want to know. You know, it's like I have them on my shelf. I know it's gonna feed that like little army need. And do I have to read the back? No, I don't. I'm gonna go in surprised. This next book I try to read every single summer, but every single summer I do not get to it. So I'm like, summer 2026 is the summer I will finally get to this book. So I'll actually be so mad at myself if it gets to like September and I still have not read it. And that's The Real Deal by Lauren Blakely. This book no one talks about, but I literally went to Indigo and I was like, this book looks so interesting, and I picked it up and I haven't read. And it's like, I feel like part of me didn't read it yet because I didn't hear anything about it. So I'm like, I don't know if it's good or bad. But then on the other hand, I'm like, it's literally a book that you went into the bookstore for and you picked it, like you brought it home just because of the back that looks interesting. So it's like, well, wouldn't you want to read it more? I just haven't gotten to it. When will I get to it? I don't know. But this summer I'm like, please, 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 you cannot go into fall without having read this book. The 8th book that I want to read this year is Falling by Janisha Boswell. This is a random book that I found on Amazon, and it kind of gave me like Icebreaker vibes, but like a little bit different. I haven't heard much about it, so I don't think it's like as spicy as Icebreaker, because Icebreaker I liked it, but it was like really spicy for me that I was flipping through scenes because I was like, I don't want to read this. So it's the like whole figure skater hockey player type vibe. I am really praying that it's better than Icebreaker, because I don't want to read an Icebreaker part 2. Like Icebreaker was great, but I don't need to read that again. So very high hopes. This, I feel like it's not a summer book. I feel like it's more of a like September in the like back, I mean, I'm not going back to school, but in the like back to school type vibe. So that's what I'm thinking of reading it. But I really, really, really hope, fingers crossed, I read it before the end of the year. This is another book I found randomly on Amazon literally before it became like popular, but I feel like it became popular, then it kind of like disappeared. So I truly do not know what people think about it. But we have My Dark Romeo by LJ Shen and Parker S. Huntington. I'm not sure what it's about. I don't know, but the cover is beautiful. My little thing with Parker S. Huntington is that I read My Darling Venom and so many people loved it, so I thought I would like it also, but I didn't. But I feel like why I didn't like it isn't because of like the writing or like the characters. It was like the male main character's job that I just can't get behind. And then people's like obsession with him because of his job, like in the book, I was like, not for me. So given that it was like very contextual, it wasn't like the author, I was like, I might like this, and I do enjoy the premise, and the cover is beautiful, and I like the title, so fingers crossed I will like it. Book number 10, we have a standalone fantasy. I think it's like the only standalone fantasy I have on my shelf that I have not read, and that is The Stolen Kingdom by Gillian Boehm. I have no idea what this is about, but it's a standalone fantasy. So I was like, when I get my little like fantasy crave in between like romance books, probably this is giving me like February, you know, in between my like lighthearted romance books, I pick up a standalone fantasy. I am not really like committing myself to a huge series because I am reading like a massive series in the beginning of this year. So I was like, you know what, I need my little fantasy fix, but I don't want to like delve into the entire Throne or Glass world. I have The Stolen Kingdom. Next, we have a book that really, really intrigues me, and I feel like something that I can really, really enjoy. That is Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman. I think it's one of Larry Reed's like favorite books. So I'm super excited to get into it. And the trope is like, I mean, how the story starts is something very different from like anything that I read. So I'm very, very intrigued. And I feel like it could be a 5. You know what? I think I kind of want to bring out a video reading like books that I think would be 5 stars, because I feel like that could be super, super fun. Because I feel like Still Beating does give potential 5-star energy, but we will see. And then, yeah, so I mentioned Emily Henry. The other Emily Henry book that I have that I'm like, you have to read before buying her like new release this year is Funny Story. It seems so fun. It seems so interesting, but I'm like, why did I not read it? Like, I feel like out of all of her books, like this is the one I feel like I'm gonna like the most. So I'm like, why have you not read it? I don't know. I genuinely do not know, but we are not allowing me to buy the new Emily Henry book before Funny Story and Book Lovers are both read. Book number 13, she has a beautiful, beautiful spine, and that's Story of My Life by Lucy Score. I read Things We Hide from the Light. I enjoyed Lucy Score's writing style. I just didn't. I like the characters. I like the writing style. It was just like Knox was like an absolute asshole that I did not like that much, but I liked her characters. I liked the story and everything. So I picked up Story of My Life, and I feel like it can be something super, super interesting, and it's so pretty. I'm just like kind of nervous that the male main character kind of like gives the same vibe as Knox. I don't think he would, but I feel like it's that like little fear in my head that kind of like put me off from reading it. But this is the year. This is the year. We also have a book that I've been putting off literally since I started reading again. I bought this book such a long time ago, and I'm like, why have you not read it? From Lukov with Love by Mariana Zapata. I feel like I heard so much about Mariana Zapata like back in the day, but then like no one talks about her anymore, so I don't know what exactly happened. But out of all her books, this was the one that intrigued me the most because of the whole figure skating aspect, and I'm like, I'm sure I'm gonna love it. It feels like a potential 5-star read. I just haven't read it yet, but I feel like I haven't read it because I'm so scared to read it because it's so hyped up in my head that I'm like, I have to read it in February. That's the perfect month. If we pass February, I cannot read it. If I don't have time in February, I'm not gonna start it because I'm not gonna be able to finish it, and then I'm not gonna like it because I wasn't able to experience it. So I feel like I put so many constraints on this book that at this point I'm so nervous, but it seems like something that I'm really gonna enjoy, so we will see. Fingers crossed I enjoy it. And this, I think I'm feeling it's gonna be a February read. Book number 15 is another book I've had on my TBR for like literal years. Like I bought it in 2022 when I went to Toronto with some friends, and that's Ruthless Rivals by LJ Shen. This is a workplace romance. I feel like I haven't read one in so long that it's like when I have my urge this year, when I want my workplace romance, I have to pick this book up. Like I'm actually gonna be so mad at myself if we get to 2027 and I have not read it, because I'm like, what are you doing? You like at that point you would have had this book on your shelf for like 5 years, which is like not okay. The next book, I tell myself I'm gonna read it every single fall. Every single fall I do not read it, and I'm like, no, this year, like you are like, I don't care if I read it in January this year. I am reading this book this year, and that is If We Were Villains by Emma Rio. I know I'm gonna love it. I'm like, why have you not read it yet? I don't know. I genuinely do not know. Like, okay, you know what? I feel like, so I had a special video planned in the month of March, a little reading vlog, or I don't know if it was March or April, but I feel like I'm gonna scratch that, like bring that out later during the year and just do reading potential 5-star reads, or it's like this video ends when I find a 5-star read, because I feel like even just like out of the books that I mentioned today, Still Beating, potential 5-star read. If We Were Villains, potential 5-star read. The Emily Henry books, potential 5-star read. And From Look Up With Love, potential 5-star read. Like I have so many books just on this that I can read for that video, but I was also thinking that I can do reading my like 2026 TBR as a video. I don't know if I do like, oh, episode 1 of my like reading my 2026 TBR, it's like the potential 5-star reads, and then I do the other ones. Like I'm not sure how I want to do it, because it's like that's a video idea that I wanted to do, but then I also did want to do the like this video ends when I find a 5-star read, but it's like my potential 5-star reads are like in this, I don't know, we're gonna see. I'm getting too ahead of myself. Like you guys don't need to know all that information. That's like info that's like between me, my head, and like my iPad. But anyways, moving on. The next book is, I never know how to pronounce this, Lasud Lasud, I don't know, by Lila Sage. This book I'm so excited for. This is Teddy's book and Gus. We've been teased from this. We've been teased like about the romance since book 1, and I'm so excited to finally get there. Like I feel like I'm gonna love this book so much. I'm just a little nervous because book 2, I didn't really believe in the romance. I wouldn't say I got bored, but I was like, okay, like let's like move this along. So I'm nervous for that reason, but I'm so excited for this book, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I do enjoy it. The next book is one that I feel like I'm gonna love. I just have not picked it up yet, and that's Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson. This, like, I feel like it hits everything that I'm gonna like. I just have to sit down and read it. Like, it feels like a summer book, but it's like not a summer book, so it's like I try to read it during the summer, but then it doesn't happen. I'm like, okay, in the fall, but I'm like, it's kind of a fall book, but like it's kind of not, and it just never happens. But I'm like, no. Like honestly, before summer, I do want to read this. Like I don't know, I'm not gonna make promises, but if I fully do my like, reading my like 2026 TBR like part 1 in like March, April, I really hope, fingers crossed, that this book I would have read, because I think I'm gonna love it. I just haven't read it. Next, we have a book I found from a YouTuber like years ago, ago. She kind of like disappeared, so I don't know what's like going on with her. I hope she's doing great. I think this was one of the books that she really, really liked, and it's called Make It Sweet by Kristen Callahan. I don't even know what this book is about because it's been on my TBR for so long. I think there's like a baking thing. He's like an ex-hockey player or something like that. I don't know, but it's like, I think I'm gonna like it. But once again, I have not picked it up. This next book I'm so excited to read because I'm gonna be closing off a series, and that is Capturing the Devil by Carrie Maniscalco. I read the first book of the series when I was like 17, 16. Part of me just like doesn't want to close this series because I have such like fond memories in my head, but I'm also scared because like reading it as an adult now, I'm like, will I enjoy it as much? I feel like I will, because yes, it is YA, but it doesn't feel like it because it's like historical. So that little aspect is like, okay, like we're not in like high school, it's like historical, we're like solving a murder. So I think I'm really gonna enjoy it. Potential 5-star, I do not know. I hope so. I'm so excited to get back to reading about Thomas Cresswell because he's the original book boyfriend. So book 21 came out in 2025, so it's like accessible that I haven't read it yet, and it's We Love You Bunny by Mona Awad. I did not know that a Bunny part 2 was like in the works, but it was, and then when I saw it in Indigo, I was like, oh my god, I have to buy it. Even though it's like December, well no, it was like I think like late November, early December. It's like I'm not gonna be reading this until like next fall, but I was like, no, you have it. Like when you feel your need for like horror, thriller, gothic, it doesn't have to be in October. Pick it up. Like I could even read this during the summer. I mean, Bunny, I've read it like towards the fall, but like summery fall, so I can very easily read this another point of the year. And I'm so intrigued because I'm like, okay, so our main character from Bunny is like going back to the university, but it's like, are the bunnies still there? I don't want to spoil the end of Bunny, but I feel like we all ended very, very confused. I don't know where this book is going to pick up from, but I'm very, very intrigued. And we have another Mona Awad book. This is not related to the Bunny, I guess, like universe. It's called Rouge. I don't know what I'm going to read them. Like I don't know if I'd read them in the same video for reading my 2026 TBR. Maybe I might, who knows, maybe I might split my episodes by like themes, do one where it's like fantasy books, one the romance books, one like the thriller mysteries. That could be a fun idea. I don't know, let me know what you think down below, if it's like just randomized, I guess like randomized, like completely randomized, or randomized in the sense that it's like mood reading whenever I'm feeling that season, or it's like by themes. I'm very open to everything. Like I don't really have any like plans with that, so let me know what you think. I have the second book to this duology that I want to read so bad, and that is When Night Breaks by Janella Angeles. So I read the first book and it was a 5-star read. I loved it so much and I'm like, I have to read book 2, but I feel like I'm so scared to read book 2 because I'm like, what if it doesn't live up to the hype of book 1? But no, 2026, we are reading it, we are finishing it. I'm like, there is no reason to keep putting off reading this book because odds are you're gonna love it, and we finished book 1 on a cliffhanger. So I'm like, I have to know what happens next. Book 24 is the second book I mentioned by Ali Hazelwood, and that is Deep End. So this came out almost a year ago. So I guess like it makes sense I haven't read it, but it's like you literally bought it to read it for your like 2025 releases video and you didn't read it. It's like, girl, what are you doing? I'm so excited because I feel like this Ali Hazelwood book is like a little bit different because it's not like some like, I want to say like teacher student, but it's like they're on like the swim team, but it's not like that other academic setting like The Love Hypothesis or Love Theoretically or Love on the Brain. So I'm very excited to see how she tackles this, and I generally really like Ali Hazelwood's like writing, so I'd like to see something different from like her like science-y books, even though like that's what like originally drew me to her. So I'm excited. The before last book number 25, is a thriller that I have been putting off because I was like, you have to read this in like January or February, but I'm always like completely like swamped by exams, or I'm at a cottage and I'm like, I'm not gonna read like a snowed in thriller at a cottage when I'm at a cottage. But this year I was like, no, in January you're gonna read this book. So probably by the time that you're seeing this video I would have like hopefully read it. We will see. But that's One by One by Ruth Ware. I forget what it was called. I read one snowed in thriller. Well, no, I mean, I obviously read The Hunting Party, but I wouldn't call that like snowed in. I read another snowed in thriller and I love it. It's a trope in thrillers that I genuinely love. I feel like also being from Canada, it's like I like it more because it's like scarier, because it's like more realistic, because like it actually could happen, and I know I'm gonna love it. So I know, like in my January wrap up, please, fingers crossed, I hope that I would read it. And finally, the last book on this list, this absolute chunker. I think reading this book is gonna be like a slow process. I think I'm gonna try to read like 4 chapters per week and like read this at the same time as other books, because if I pour my whole mind, body, and soul into this, like I would get, not that I would get bored, but I feel like I do need like little breaks in between because it's so heavy. Also, like my arm is like literally gonna fall off, and it's The Queen of Air and Darkness Darkness by Cassandra Clare. This is the last book in the Dark Artifices trilogy. I have my like little qualms with the Shadowhunters. So the Shadowhunter series, I read it and I wasn't really connecting with the writing style, but I also read that after reading the Infernal Devices. And I think since Cassandra Clare wrote the Infernal Devices after Shadowhunters, or like after the first 2 books of Shadowhunters, that I was like, okay, like I like this because I can connect more with the writing style. I like it. Whereas the Mortal Instruments, that writing style, I was like, absolutely not. So the Dark Artifices, I think it's a series that she wrote after the Infernal Devices. So I do like the writing style. I'm very interested. I love the world and I'm so happy to be back. Just why are the books so freaking long? That's my only complaint. Like this series could have easily been 4 books instead of like 3, and I feel like it'd be more digestible. But then also how we end each book, it's like it makes sense to end the books like at that point. So yes, it might make reading better, but also I get why she did 3 books. But anyways, this chunker of a book we are reading this year. I don't know when, but we're reading this year. So those were the 26 books that I plan to read in 2026. I think that it's reasonable because once again, like in previous years, it was like I'm putting series as like number 5 or like number 8. But now it's like, no, it's like individual books. And I feel like making my videos where it's like reading my 2026 TBR, like part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm going to do like 4 or 5 parts. And I feel like planning that ahead of time would really help me like get through my TBR. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, definitely hit the subscribe button and leave a thumbs up so I know I bring you like TBR videos like super often, so it's not even like hit the thumbs up so I know that you want more TBR videos, but hit the thumbs up if you are excited to see my 2026 TBR reading vlog videos. If you want to go stalk me on my social media, my TikTok, Instagram, and my Goodreads are all linked down below, so definitely don't hesitate to go over there. And I think that's going to be all for me today. So stay safe, protect your vibe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, guys.